All right, guys. All right. Mic check 1, mic check 2. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. There we go. Got it. Now, let's go ahead. That's a little off. That ain't how we had that. All right, guys. I hope you had an awesome day in life and in the market. Let me go ahead and start getting this stuff set up so we can go. I came up with a great idea just before the live stream, and I didn't have time to put it in place. But I'm going to take care of it before we do our live stream tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get the Social Stream Ninja pulled up so I can make sure I get you guys chats. Why do we have 2 of those? We're still good with the audio. Yeah, we shouldn't have 2. Social Stream. There we go. So Social Stream Ninja. We got that pulled up. Let's do a test. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to leave that as loud as it is because last time I think I didn't hear the person when they left that chat. So we're going to leave that volume where it is. Now we're going to share the stream on Facebook and we'll be starting the show soon, guys. Make sure that's good. All right, we got that. Let's go ahead and share it. We are live. We are live. Done. Okay, so we got that done. We shared it on Facebook. Guys, I got a checklist now. I got my checklist popping now. So now that I got my checklist, we should have these issues no more ever. I know exactly what I need to do and have done before we start this live stream. What just happened there? Oh, wait. I don't know what I just did here, guys. Oh, no. What is that? Performance. Okay, good. I don't know what I did, but I got it back. Okay, cool. That's what we needed. We needed always on top. Okay, so we got that. We got 1 minute to showtime. So let me hurry up and get this where it needs to be. There is that Amazon. Yes, it is. So we got that. Got the earnings. Yes, we do. So we got that. We got that. Check the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. We are about to get started in a minute. We got 1 minute. All right. We got that. Okay, cool. Looks like everything is everything. Just waiting on 11, guys. Just waiting on 11. Yeah, we got everything. All right, guys, here we go. Let's start the show. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God. It is Thursday, guys. It is Thursday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker AMZN. You might know them better as Amazon. Amazon.com Incorporated was founded in 1994 by Jeff Bezos with the first office opening in Bellevue, Washington. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $2 trillion. Yes, that's $2 trillion. Amazon is in the broadline retail industry in the consumer discretionary sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Amazon's competitors are Walmart, ticker WMT, eBay, ticker EBAY, and Alibaba, ticker BABA. We're going to review Amazon's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube. Put an FB in the chat for Facebook and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Let's get to these earnings. Bam, 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 bam. And that's what's missing. Got it. All right, let's go. Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker symbol AMZN, the $2.5 trillion company reported its first quarter earnings on Wednesday. Oh, no. Here we go. Now, the one thing I did not check, they have the wrong date in here, guys. This is supposed to be today's date. Everything else is right. Just let me fix this date. This is supposed to be Thursday. Thursday, July 30th. Ooh, this AI, I would fire it. I would fire it. First chance I get. Every time I check behind it, it do something new, stupid that I didn't see. Oh, gosh. All right, here we go. Let's go to the top of the earnings. Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker symbol AMZN, the $2.5 trillion company reported its first quarter earnings on Thursday, July 30th. They have a 52-week high of $278.56, which took place on May 5th, and a 52-week low of $196 that occurred on February 17th, which is a trading range of $82.56. And they closed today at $235.50. Amazon's earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $200.6 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $196 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as cloud computing AWS growth accelerated and advertising revenue surged. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $1.82 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $5.75. Amazon reported a GAAP net income of $62.6 billion, which is higher than the $18.2 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents an increase of 244%. So for the first fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 70.9% lower than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 5 p.m. Eastern time conference call. As far as guidance, management projects quarter three net sales between $197 billion to $202 billion. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $235.50 represents an increase of 20.15% over a span of approximately 5.5 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in February at that 52-week low of $196, they would be seeing a gain of $201.50. Woo! All right, we did that. Now, let me clear this up. Because of that quarter, guys, I said the first quarter of 2026. This is the second quarter. All right. So that's the correction for that. This is the second quarter earnings for 2026. So we got that. All right, let's move on. Let's go here. Bam, bam. Yeah. All right, researching a company. There we go. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? And what makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look, we search for those answers in four main areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go to Amazon's website. Here we go. Bam, bam. Good. I'm like, what was that shadow? But we got it. All right, guys. Now we know, since this is consumer, discretionary, retail. Everything we see is going to be buy. Everything going to be on sale. So we're just going to scroll over this, and I believe everything we need is going to be at the bottom of the website. So let's just scroll over it. We'll be reading all day. Okay. Ooh, that was a short scroll. Thank God. So you already know. You know what Amazon is and about. All right, here we go. So get to know us. There's careers, and there's investor relations. And there's about Amazon. Guys, that's all we going. They got so much stuff on here. It's crazy. We going to about Amazon. That's where we going. All right, let's make sure we zoomed in. We're good. Close that out, whatever that is. And then they got another drop down about Amazon, about us. So let's browse over this page. And then if it's anything we might be missing, we'll go back up to about us. All right. Amazon.com announced its second quarter results. Right. See, corrected. It was second quarter. So we definitely talked about that. Now let's scroll over. Innovation and AI. It's still talking about the quarter. Prime shopping and benefits. Everything that comes with your Prime membership is Prime worth it. So what is that? It's Prime shopping and benefits. So let's keep scrolling. Life at Amazon. So this is going to deal with careers. So Amazon news from around the world. Featured stories. Got it. Okay, so let's go up to about us and see if we can go to something specific. So what we do, this is good. This is good. So Amazon stores, teams around the world invent on behalf of our customers every day. Selection, value, and convenience are the enduring customer experience we've always focused on to make Amazon the store customers turn to for their shopping needs. And here is Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services, AWS, the world's most comprehensive and broadly adopted cloud, is guided by customer obsession, a rapid pace of innovation, commitment to operational excellence, and long-term thinking. And then artificial intelligence. I'm not reading all that. Amazon's custom chips, entertainment, devices, and Alexa. I got that comment. Good evening. Tonight. I'm going to pull this comment up. I don't know if this is Night Bella, but the name looks familiar. So let me pull this up. Good evening to you too. We'll pull your chat up on the screen. How you doing? How you doing? Appreciate you. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate the chat. All right, go here, Amazon. Yes, so operations. All right, Amazon ranks number 3 on Fortune's World Most Admired Companies list. Got it. Let's see what else we can find up here. Working at Amazon, leadership principles. I think we're good with that, guys. More from Amazon. That's more news. I think we're good with that. Let's go ahead and go to careers. I want to go back to the main page and click the link from down there. It might take us to the same place, but that's just where I want to click from. So we're going back here, click on careers. There we go. Are we zoomed in? Yes, we're good. So, student opportunities, hourly jobs, AI careers, innovate with us, teams, job categories, locations. Debbie owns innovation end to end. Impact the future today. Guys, we at the bottom of the page. Okay, here we go. This is what we're looking for. You see that right there? Let me take me off the screen so we can see, just in case you wanted to look over here. But we want to read culture and benefits because that's what we were looking for. Let's see what we can find under culture, and then we'll go to benefits. Put me back on the screen. Our workplace. Curious what it's like working at Amazon. You'll get to work on Amazon. Amazing. I was about to say amazing projects, innovate across industries, and be part of an inclusive workplace that empowers our people to do the best work of their careers. Leadership principles explained, benefits. Okay, so we're going to click right there. Inclusive experiences, equal opportunity, career areas, resources. Benefits is here also. All right, let's go to benefits. And then we're going to go to investor relations, and then we can move on, guys. We're going to move a little faster tonight. Benefits and stock. The perks of being an Amazon employee don't stop at collaborating with great people on exciting and innovative projects. Amazon benefits support the needs of our diverse workforce and their family members, no matter what stage they're at in their life or career. Got it. Coverage, growth, and ownership. Okay, guys, this is going to be a list of a bunch of stuff, so I'm going to scroll a little bit, but that's where they give you a little breakdown about the benefits, okay? Hope I didn't move too fast, and let me take me off the screen. There you go. And remember, links to the website featured tonight are down in the description for your convenience. Please hit that like button. It helps promote the channel and it helps grow the community. And if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. All right, now let's go to investor relations, which I don't see right here. And just in case I'm overlooking it, I'm gonna just move fast and go exactly where I know where it's at. Right here, homepage, investor relations. You can't see it. There it is, guys. Investor relations. Bam. So we can see the closing price for today. We're going to browse over this page and check to see if it's a link for the stock quote and stock chart. That's the bottom of the page. These pages are really short. Is this a hyperlink? No. So it looks like this is all the stock information that they give you guys. They don't have, I don't think they have the charts and a larger stock quote. Let me click right here. Nope. I don't think they have it, guys. I don't think they have it. Close that out. Yeah, so here's the only stock information I'm finding on under investor relations. So let's go ahead and move on and talk about their clients and partners, guys. Here we go. Bam. That's fine. All right. So Amazon does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Apple, ticker AAPL, Netflix, ticker NFLX, and Meta Platforms, ticker META. And if you wanted to know what service they use, all of those companies use Amazon's web services, their cloud services department. That's what they use for their business. Okay, now let's move on. Yeah, let's talk about the mobile limitations, guys. Let's talk about that. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at Amazon on the charts. Here we go. Bam, bam. Take that down and put up the ticker. We're good. All right, guys. So we are looking at a 1 year daily chart for Amazon. There you go. That's that information right there. Here's their 52-week low of $196. Here's their 52-week high of $278.56. Okay, now let's look at a higher time frame. Take those boxes off. Take me off the screen momentarily. So now we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart, confirming that this goes back 10 years. There is 2016, so we have that. Let me bring this over. I need to make this closer. There we go. So here's their 10-year low of $35.51, and here's their 10-year high of $278.56. And the last time they did a stock split was in 2022, 20 for 1. They gave you 20 shares for 1 share. Whoa. Okay. All right. Now, based on where the price close is today at that $235.50, I believe we're okay with some of the price levels we have on the higher time frame. I'm going to go ahead and put this one thing that's standing out to me. It's around 217. That says 215 on that one. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Put me back on the screen right here, guys. This is what I'm looking at. That price level 215.90. I was looking right here where I'm seeing wicks, opens and closes around that level right up in here. That's why I picked that price level 215.90. And then we already have price levels on the higher time frame. And what I wanted to work on and I'm gonna have available moving forward, I'm gonna put a label at the top so it'll be easier to see where the 200 week, where the 9 simple moving average is and the 200 simple moving average is on the weekly chart. I hope I said this right. The 9-week simple moving average and the 200-week simple moving average. When we go to the weekly chart, sometimes it's hard for us to see those labels because the closing price for today is right where, and I have to move the chart. You see how that just popped up? I have to adjust the chart if the price is close to the 9 simple moving average, whether that's a day or a week. So because it's so close, we're going to have to move the chart. I don't want to do that no more. So I'm going to put a label at the top to make it easier for us to find where it is for that day. Okay. But as far as right now, the 200-week simple moving average is $179.17. And the 9-week simple moving average is $240.50. So that's what we have there. Now we can go ahead and go to the lower time frame. So here we are looking at the 1-year daily chart. And guys, let me point this out to you right now before we get into these technicals too deep. Since they had the earnings released today after market, the stock price has already shot up past this and is holding above this level of resistance. Now I'm calling it resistance because the regular trading hours, the price closed down here. So that was resistance at 237.68, and then you had resistance at 258.60. And after hours trading, the price has gapped up or jumped up, traded up above both of those places of resistance. So now this price level becomes support. So I'm gonna take you down on the lower time frame and show you where that is and how that's working. But before we go over there, we're gonna do two things on the chart for technicals, because this is going to be pretty easy, because being a so the price gapped up, we got to worry about where it's at right now. So here we go. So I want to identify this gap right here. I'm using the rectangle tool. So this high to this low. So that day was July 23rd and July 22nd. We're going to make this yellow, identified it as a gap, and extend this over to December 1st. Bam. So that's where we had a previous gap. And then there's another gap up here that we're going to identify. But let me put the top price level of that gap. So the top price level of that gap is $242.45. And part of that gap has been filled by the high on this candle right here. But it's going to take extra time for that. So I'm just going to give you, you know what? Let me open this up and I'll just go ahead and do it. So what we're looking for, what we're going to do, part of that gap has been filled. So this is what I want to do. We're going to put a price level here so I don't have to memorize it. So that's 239.82. So we take this, edit properties, the bottom of it, 239.82, 239.82. There we go. Yellow. Bam. Now, I want to keep that gap there to identify that there was a gap there. So I'm going to connect it to the low of this to the high of this candle and the high of this candle. And then we're going to edit the properties and change it to a lighter color. So we're going to use a lighter shade and extend that over to December 1st. So that will help identify that that was a previous gap that started to be closed based off that wick right there. So we did that. Now we want to put this other gap that has not been filled yet. So the high of June 1st and May 29th, there was a gap between those candles. So we're going to extend this over to December 1st, highlighted yellow. December 1st, got it. And then we're going to do the price levels. Well, I don't even have my cursor thing on. Here we go. So the price level, that's the high of June 1st. Pull this down. The high of June 1st and the low of May 29th. There we go. So that's going to be an area of resistance I'm looking at based off where the price is trading at right now. So remember, I told you the price has moved up after hours. So we're going to go over there and look at that. So let's go. Let's go. So right up here, we're going to a 5-day minute chart. This is actually a 10-day minute chart. We can see it over here. I adjusted it earlier, and we're looking at the wrong time frame. Let me fix this, guys. We need this to be on pro market closed. I was in the markets earlier all over these charts and changed all types of stuff. So here we go. Amazon, AMZN, put that back in the symbol box. Let's go down over here to the, now it's a 5-minute daily chart. So it's a 5-day minute chart. Ooh, let me be clear. 5-day minute chart, guys. That's where we are right now. And we can see the extended hours because it's in the gray shaded area. If we go here to the settings, if you can't see this on your chart, you go to equities and make sure that this box right here is selected where it says show extended hours trading session, okay? So as long as that's selected, you'll be able to see what we're seeing. All right, click OK. And we can see that after hours, soon as the market closed, Amazon gapped up. Earnings was announced. They had the earnings call at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and now it's trading above that area of resistance that I was telling you about at 258.60, but now it's acting as support. So there we go, guys. All right, now let's go back to the 1 year daily chart and let's get the stock quote for Amazon, and then we can talk about the volume. Come on. And we can talk about the volume. So go up to settings, cut on the floating data box, apply. There we go. All right, so Amazon opened today at $233.35. They had a high of $239.82. They had a low of $231.06, and they closed today at $235.50, which was a trading range of $8.76. Okay, now when we're looking at the volume, guys, they traded over 101 million shares of this stock today. Okay, so let's break this down. Is that a big deal? Is it a little deal? I don't know. Let's look at it. Got your comment? I'm gonna pull it up in 1 second. Let me pull your comment up in 1 second. We're gonna cut this floating data box off, and then I'll pull up your comment and see what you got going on. So take that down, go to chat. Let's see what we got. Chat. That's the last comment. Here we go. So let's read this. Michael Anthony, appreciate you for the chat. Let's read what you got. Ticker SMPL did a double bottom Monday to drop again on Fed Day. Yeah, Wednesday. That rebounding again with insiders buying much higher with upgrades to $14 and $15 after earnings. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's a company I would have to look at on my own. But yeah, there's a lot of different things moving in the markets right now, and some crazy volatility with different things going on after the Fed made their announcement. I hate when the Fed talk. I hate it, man. I hate it. I feel like it's just it's a dog and pony show. They just do it to add volatility in the market, because that's all that happens. Like, people get on pins and needles and they go crazy, and it caused the stocks to just, yeah, I think it's just for volatility. It may be important, but the way they do it, I believe they do it the way they do it to cause volatility. It's not really to keep us informed. That's just my personal opinion. All right, let's finish talking about the volume, and thank you so much for the chat. Thank you so much for that. All right, now, average volume for Amazon in a daily trading session, guys, is 47 million shares in a daily trading session. And guys, they did 101 million today. So they did more than double today as far as the volume. And that was during regular hours. And I told you that it gapped up after hours. And then, so Wednesday's candle right here, guys, they did 44.9 million shares that day. So that was slightly below average on that day. And then they went crazy today, the day of earnings. And what's crazy about that, the earnings was announced after the market closed. So they could have even more volume tomorrow, especially with the gap up. Because if you had some people that thought the stock was going to go down, that's going to be a heck of a short squeeze. So we going to see what type of volume we get with Amazon tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk about the volume percentile. So today's candle was hot. Today's volume on today's candle was higher than 97.2% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes. To be exact, only 7 of those most recent 252 trading days had higher volume than today. Boom, we got it, guys. All right, now let's move on. Let's go here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you. Please hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. And I'm about to ask you again anyway. So here we go. Community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe. And if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. Okay. So we got that. Look at this, all this stuff falling over. Give me 1 second. On the screen, we talked about that. Oh, and as well, as talked about that. And it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. So here is the label for that. All right, let's take this stuff off the screen. The S&P 500 index. Okay, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. All right, so let's go back to the charts. And here we go. Bam, bam. Take that down. Yeah, we're back on the charts. We need to take this to the SPY. So we go up here to the symbol box, type in SPY, guys. Let's get to it. Take me off the screen, speed up a little bit. So we are looking at the SPY on a 1-year daily chart, okay? They have a 52-week low of $619.29 and a 52-week high of $760.40. And they look like they jumped right back up into that range that I was talking about. So let's go ahead and let's get this before. Yeah. You can see it now. So here's the 200-day simple moving average right there, guys, before we zoom in, because once we zoom in, you won't be able to see that label. And like I said, when we get done with the live stream tonight, definitely before we do the live stream on Friday, I'm going to add labels to the top of the screen that's going to tell us exactly where the 9 simple moving average is and the 200-day simple move, 200 simple moving average is. Depending on what chart we're looking at, it'll either be a week or it'll be a day. So just the 9 simple moving average and the 200 simple moving average. Okay, so the range we were talking about, the SPY trading inside of, was this range right here. Now, this was before this big red candle dropped out of that zone, but I was calling this, the majority of what we were dealing with right now, consolidation. And we're looking for it to break out to the top or to the bottom. So when this big red candle came yesterday, it was looking like it was breaking out of the consolidation range to the bottom, but it did a real nice recovery today, getting back above. Let me erase some of these. Getting back above this area of resistance, calling it resistance because of what this close from this candle was. So now once it got back above that resistance, now it becomes support. But what happened, it opened right below it today, and then it closed above that area of resistance and above the 9-day simple moving average. So that looks really good as far as going up. Now we need to look at the volume and factor other things in that's going on, because we need to look at the next level of resistance. So I'm seeing resistance at $744.44 and the psychological level that we've talked about before. That's $749.88. What do you mean by psychological? The round number, $749.88 is real close to $750. So that's where it's been trading for the majority of what's been going on. It fell out of it, it peaked out of the top, but the majority of the body of those candles, the way I'm seeing it, is within that range between $749.88 and $737.05. I got it. All right, now let's go ahead and get our stock quote for this ETF, and we'll go ahead and talk about the volume. I'm cutting on the floating data box, and let me take some of this drawing stuff off, because that we just got too much going on right now. Let's just clear it. Just delete. There we go. All right. So the SPY opened today at $736.05. They had a high of $742.45, and they had a low of $734.59, and they closed today at $741.69, which was a trading range of $7.86. Guys, the trading volume for today was 66 million shares of this ETF was traded today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We about to find out. So let's cut off this floating data box, take me off the screen, and we're going to look at the average trading volume for the SPY in a daily trading session. Guys, the average trading volume is 72 million in a daily trading session, and today they did 66, which we can see quickly that that's below average. Yesterday they did 70 million, so that was that big red candle right here. So we see the volume decreasing as it's going to the upside now. Okay, so that's what we got with our volume. We can put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days volume, guys, today's volume was higher than 47.2% of those trading days. Right here, we can see the days below, and right here, we can see the days above. Okay, we got it. All right, so we can go ahead and move on. Let's go here. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah. All right, sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they perform today. All right, so let's go back to the charts. Let's go here. We're going to the S&P 500 sector performance. So let's go up here to my grid, sector performance. I already have my notes ready. All right, here are our labels. I'll pull the notes up after we go through it. So we're looking at the percentage changes of each sector using the State Street ETFs and the SPY. All right. So the SPY is up 1.7%. Energy is up 0.5%. Materials is down 0.2%. Industrials up 1%. Consumer discretionary up 0.7%. Consumer staples down 2.2%. Healthcare down 1.6%. Financials up 0.6%. Information technology up 5.5%. Communication services down 2.7%. Utilities down 0.6%. Real estate down 1.4%. Got it. All right. Now I'm going to pull out the watch list over here. So guys, we have it in descending order. Now, if you've been following along, I've been saying ascending and descending, and I've probably been saying it backwards. So I've been working on trying to get my mind together. So when it goes from the highest number or the greatest number to the least, this is going to be descending. So this is descending order. So we got the gainers at the top, the losers at the bottom, and then we can flip it if we want to, but let's get to our notes. So here's our notes. Bam, there we go. So we're focusing on today. So here we go. Our biggest gainer for today is information technology, XLK, up 5.5%. Second biggest gainer for today is XLI. That's industrials, they're up 1%. And then the third biggest gainer today is XLY, consumer discretionary, up 0.7%. Our three biggest losers, the biggest loser today is communication services. They're down 2.7%. Consumer staples, XLP, is our second biggest loser today, down 2.2%. And XLV healthcare is our third biggest loser, down 1.6%. If you want to get more specific to get those two decimal places, they're going to be right here under percentage change, with the gainers at the top and the losers at the bottom. All right. So let's go through our little workbook and see what's standing out this week so far. So we're going to click on both and let's go ahead and look through these sectors. So let's start at the top. We got communication services. So communication services were our third gainer on Monday, third gainer on Tuesday, and our number one loser today. So that's communication services. Consumer discretionary, they were our number two gainer on Monday and our number three gainer today. Consumer staples, they were our number one gainer on Monday. They were our number two gainer on Tuesday, number two gainer on Wednesday, and our number two loser today. So they've popped up 4 times this week, either on the top or in the bottom somewhere. Energy, they were our biggest loser on Monday, our second biggest loser on Tuesday, and our number one gainer on Wednesday. All right, let's see. Financials, they were our third biggest loser on Wednesday. So they're kind of quiet. Healthcare, they were our number one gainer on Tuesday and our third biggest loser today. We got a few more. Industrials, they were our third biggest loser on Tuesday, number one loser on Wednesday, number two gainer on Thursday. Information technology. Man, So they were third biggest loser on Monday, number one loser on Tuesday, number two loser on Wednesday, and then came in strong today as the biggest gainer. We're getting 5.5% in a day. Woo! All right. So materials, quiet. Not on the top and bottom. Real estate. So there were number three gainer on Wednesday. And even though they were a gainer, Wednesday was so bad. Like every sector, I think was only one. Yeah, it was only one sector that was green that day. It was two. My apologies. It's two. We can see them right here. So what happened was the third gainer was the one that lost the least out of the other 9 sectors that lost. That's why it's showing up negative. All right. So that's that. All right. So we went through our nodes. We didn't cover utilities. So utilities was our number 2 loser on Monday. So that's what we got. Tracking the money and following the money for this week so far. All right. So we did that. Now let's move on. Let's go here. Take that down. All right. Take that down. We go here. All right. Now, biggest gainers and losers. Now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. And first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let's go back to the charts. There we go. And we are looking for the biggest loser. So let's change these charts. Let's take them back over here to Pro Market Closed. We're going to go over here to the Market Watch tab. We do have the S&P 500 watch list pulled up, and it is in ascending order. I'm getting it right now because we got the lowest at the top. So guys, the biggest loser for today is Fair Isaac Corporation, ticker FICO. Guys, they lost 17.01% today. Their previous close was $1,373.08, and they closed today at $1,139.54. Let's pull up the calculator. That's not where we're going right now. I'll pull up the calculator. Let's do a hypothetical. Oh, I told you guys, start helping me put in some numbers. Let's get some different numbers. Let's say somebody invested $6,500 and they lost that 17.01%. We negate that. So that is not, I did not push the decimal, guys. Let's do that one more time. Somebody invested $6,500, multiply it. They lost 17.01%. Negate it, hit the percentage change, and they would have lost $1,105.65 of their $6,500. So we add the $6,500 back to it, the principal, and they would be left with $5,394.35. Got it. Okay, now let's link this. Select it, and now that'll work. So now when we go over to the Analyze tab, we can see that Fair Isaac Newton is in the information technology sector. Ain't that crazy? So even though information technology is our biggest gainer today as a sector, our biggest loser as far as a company is inside that same sector. So we're going to look to see how that sector performed today, how the industry that FICO, ticker FICO, is inside of performed, and the sub industry that is inside of performed. Okay, so let's go up here to the Market Watch tab. We're going to go to the Visualize sub tab, and we're going to exit and go to, so this is showing us all of the S&P 500 companies, and we need to go to the information technology sector. That's right here, guys, and we are looking for FICO. Okay, and I have no idea. They over here. Got it. So they're in the software industry, guys. So now that we're in the software industry, we can see that Microsoft has a huge market cap. I'm seeing more red than green, but here's ticker F. Here's Fair Isaac Newton. I was about to say Isaac Newton. Fair Isaac Corporation down here in the corner. Let me take the sponsor thing down so you can see it. So here's the sub industry, guys, application software. So now when we go over here, application software, here we go. So here is, let me just use this. Here is Fair Isaac Corporation. Slow it down so I don't say Fair Isaac Newton. Here it is. Here's the sub industry. Here's the industry. And here's the sector. There we go. All right. Now let's go back to the Analyze tab. And here's the company profile. Before we go to their website, Fair Isaac Newton, here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. And let's read a little bit about the company and then we'll go to the website. Fair Isaac Corporation provides analytics software in the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and the Asia Pacific. All right, now let's go to their website. Put me back on the screen. Take that down, go to their website. There we go. All right, guys, I looked over the website earlier, so I know exactly where we need to go. And we can go ahead and browse over, see what we got. So FICO, it is FICO. It's FICO score, but I just wanted to make sure. So FICO, check your FICO score. Your FICO score from FICO. 90% of top lenders use FICO scores. Do you know yours? All right. FICO statement on FHFA and FHA updates to credit score modernization. Got it. Gartner 2026 Gartner Magic Quadrant for Decision Intelligence Platforms. FICO score 10T decisively beats Vantage score 4.0 on predictability. What our customers say. Ooh, that's a lot of different people. Problem solved. Attract and engage, onboard and originate, nurture and manage, protect and comply, contact and communicate, scoring solutions. What's new? Guys, they got a lot of different stuff on here. You can explore. The links are down in the description for your convenience, because we'll be clicking all day if we went through all of this. Okay. So they even have learn, like different stuff you can learn over here about credit and FICO and all of that. But we're going to go right here under company. We're going to go to about us. We're going to go to careers and we're going to go to investors. So let's get started and go to about us. He excited. His score must be great. About us. FICO, New York Stock Exchange. FICO is a leading analytics software company helping businesses in over 80 countries make better decisions that drive higher levels of growth, profitability, and customer satisfaction. Powering decisions that help people and businesses around the world prosper. Got it. Fortune 500 clients. I like businesses that do business with other businesses, as far as like having businesses as clients. I like companies like that. So a global presence. FICO has offices throughout the world serving industries including financial services, healthcare, insurance, automotive, public sector, retail, pharmaceuticals, telecommunications, travel and hospitality, media and entertainment, high tech, and utilities. Who don't they do business with? They named every sector, if I'm not mistaken. Learn more about FICO. FICO careers, leadership, history, do you know, and responsibility. All right, we went through that. Now let's go to careers. Moving kind of smooth, guys. FICO careers. At FICO, innovation is in our DNA. We're always looking for talented, creative people across a wide range of disciplines to help us build the future of applied intelligence and solve our customers' toughest challenges. Our mission, finally, we found one of them. Our mission, FICO powers decisions that help people and businesses around the world prosper. Founded in 1956, the company is a pioneer in the use of predictive analytics, business rules management, and optimization to improve the precision, consistency, and agility of complex, high-volume decisions across our customers' life cycle. I would have never read that second sentence if I knew it was that long. If I know it was that long. Our culture and action. We believe in workforce diversity. I'm stopping right there. Voices of the FICO community. An award-winning workplace. So here's some of the things they've been recognized for: awards and recognition, spotlight on FICO in the community, our value proposition to you. Okay, so here's what I found when I looked at this earlier, guys. This is a fancy way of saying benefits. So this is the benefits section. Let me take me off the screen. FICO provides a wide range of competitive compensation and benefits programs to colleagues across the globe. All right, wellness program, employee stock purchase program, family building benefits program, professional development, tuition reimbursement. Launch your career at FICO. Intern voices of the FICO community. Put me back on the screen. All right, guys, we went through that. Now let's go to investors. Investors, view annual reports, stock information, press releases, and updated financials. Investor portal, stock information. Am I missing something? Did it not load? I'm thinking it's supposed to be right here. This looks, there you go. Okay, so here's the chart they have available on their website. Here's SEC filings. I'm looking to see if they have any tabs that we can click on to go to specific places, but I don't think so. Let's see what this got going on. Investor portal. Zoom in. Stock information. All right, here's the stock quote, reject all. Let me zoom in. So here's the stock quote that they have available on their website. We found where the chart was, and here are other tools. So they do say stock info and chart. I don't see, oh, here it is. There you go, guys. All right, so that's everything that we focus on the website. At least let's go ahead and move on. So we go there. I want to talk about their clients and partners and all that other good stuff. So biggest loser research. What do we have here? Fair Isaac Corporation, ticker FICO. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage predictive analytics and software operations across the financial services, insurance, and retail markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete credit scoring options, including FICO Score 10 and FICO Score 10T for consumer lenders. Number two, scalable division software products, including FICO Blaze Advisor, Decision Modeler, and Triad for enterprise clients. And number three, optimized fraud analytics systems tailored for transaction security, accounting, account organizations, and compliance management. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, guys, notable names include JP Morgan Chase, ticker JPM, Bank of America, ticker BAC, and Wells Fargo, ticker WFC. Now, let's look at Fair Isaac Corporation on the charts. Bam, 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 we're good. Guys, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps the community a lot. And we're actually reaching a milestone, guys. I'm like 500 views away, or we're 500 views away from 100,000 views on this channel. That's a big deal. And we're almost, well, not almost. We're, after tonight, we'll be 9 videos away from having 400 pieces of content on this channel. So we putting in the work, guys. We putting in the work. So here we go. Let's get back to it. So we are looking at FICO on the 1 year daily chart. Now that I changed it. And here's their 52-week high of $1,998.01. Here's their 52-week low of $870.01. All right, so let's go back to the higher time frame. So now we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart. Take me off the screen. We're looking for 2016, so it is right here buried below these icons, but we do have a 10-year weekly chart here. Here's their 10-year low of $109.70, and here is their $109.77, and here's their 10-year high of $2,402.52. Okay, let's remove that drawing. We don't need that. And let's look to see if we have some historical price levels we can use as support and resistance. So yeah, guys, I'm seeing this right here. So let's put that there. So I'm seeing that as historical support. Seeing that as historical support. I'm going to say right here. I know that's real small depending on what you're looking at. So I'll zoom in a little bit, try to make this better. But this is why I say try to watch it on a TV or a computer, because I know the screen space is going to be limited. All right, so that's what I got on the longer time frame, higher time frame. This might be cleaner as a zone, but I'm going to use price levels for right now, guys. We're using price levels. I like that level. I'm going to put it here. All right. And I like this. I like that right there. Okay, so those are my areas of support and resistance on a higher time frame. On this 10-year weekly chart, let's find our 200-day simple movement, 200-week simple moving average, and our 9-week simple moving average. The closing price, the bubbles are over it. So there we go. That proves what I was talking about earlier. So the 200-week simple moving average is $1,313.07, and the 9-week simple moving average is $1,194.62. All right, so that's what we have there. Now let's go down to our lower time frame. Let's go to the 1 year daily chart. Did they have earnings? Yeah, it looks like they had earnings. So it looks like they had earnings yesterday after market. So today would be them responding to whatever the earnings were yesterday, okay? So we're going to keep that in mind when we discuss the volume and things like that. Then we had a gap there, okay. I'm just browsing over a few things, guys. We already did the 52-week, okay. So the first thing that's standing out to me, or one of the first things, guys, is this gap down from yesterday. So this gap down from Wednesday to today. So let's highlight that or identify that real quick. So we got the low of yesterday and the high of today, and then edit properties, turn this yellow, extend this over to December 1st. I can't wait till we get to where we're doing January 1st. August, we're gonna start doing January 1st, guys. I'm tired of saying December 1st, but that's what we use it. All right, so we have that. Let's get our price levels. So this is the high for today, which will be the low of the gap, and that's the high of the gap. And we can see that this candle here, that wick tested that area as well. These came close. Remember, we're in the thousands, so it's not going to be like exact. It's going to approach. Sometimes we'll get lucky, it'll come right to it, and sometimes it's going to get close, because the higher the price is, the less accurate it becomes, in my opinion. Okay, so we have that. Since the price is here, let's look for some more areas of support. Guys, this is what I'm going to use as support. Okay, I'm coming back here. Let me take me off the screen. Right here, this was a previous gap between the low of March 23rd and the high of March 24th. So I'm going to extend this over. It was a previous gap. So we're going to edit properties. I'm going to make this lighter because it used to be a gap, but it was filled. And I'm going to take this over to December 1st, and we'll see where it lands when it gets over to the right of the screen. Okay. You see how it came close to this area here and these candles here? I'm seeing that as a support zone. So if this $1,112.65 doesn't hold, I'm looking for that area to be support. That's the top and that's the bottom of that support zone. Okay. And then our 9-day simple moving average is $1,253.96, and our 200-day simple moving average is $1,378.40. Guys, that's what I got. That's what I got. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote, and then we can talk about the volume. So let's go up to the settings, cut on my floating data box, mouse over today's candle. All right. So FICO, I'm just going to call them FICO. So FICO opened today at $1,150. They had a high of $1,238.60. They had a low of $1,125.28, and they closed today at $1,139.54, which was a trading range of $113.32. Guys, wow, I'm blown away by this. The trading volume today, guys, was 996,000 shares. The reason why that shocked me was because this is higher than average volume. They were responding to earnings, and they didn't even crack 1 million shares in a daily session. So I'm intrigued to find out how low the average trading volume is. All right. So let's cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen, and let's go look and talk about it. Guys, the average trading volume for FICO is 321,000 shares in a daily trading session. So this 996,000 is 3 times more. It's 3 times compared to what they do on average. 3 times compared to what they do on average. That's crazy. Now, this candle right here, Wednesday, that volume was 432,000 on that day. That's what they traded. Okay, let's put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 98.8% of those days. Only 3 of those 252 trading days had higher volume than today. And the volume was so low, we don't even have enough numbers where my picture don't block it. So I had to take my picture down so you can see the DA for days above. But there you go. All right, so we got it. We done. Now let's move on And let's talk about the biggest gainer for today. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't excited about it. And I'm gonna explain to you why once we get over there. All right, so let's go over to Market Watch. Here's the quote sub tab. Now we put this in descending order. And like I said, I've been saying the wrong thing, but now I got it. Now it's descending order. So the biggest gainer for today, guys, is Sandisk. Sandisk Corporation is the biggest gainer for today. They gained 25.99%. Their previous close was $1,015.89, and they closed today at $1,279.96. We were just listening. I'm gonna tell you how many times we didn't. Let's do the hypothetical. We'll get to that later. Before we go to when we come back to go to the charts, I'll talk to you about how many times we covered them this month. That was crazy. All right. So if somebody invested $6,500 and they gained that 25.99%, I'm not gonna forget this time, percentage, so turn it to a decimal, they would have gained $1,689.35. We add this to the principal, so that was $6,500. So the total investment would have grown to $8,189.35. Bada boom, bada bing. Guys, we got it. Now we can go ahead and select this, SanDisk. We got a link. Yep, go over to the Analyze tab. Guys, look at this. They're in the information technology sector. We just looked at that. But the biggest loser is in the same sector. So we're going to look to see what SanDisk, how that sector performed again. We're going to look at how the industry SanDisk is inside of performed and the sub industry. All right. So let's go up here to the Market Watch tab. Then we're going to go to the Visualize sub tab. Collapse this. Take me off the screen. Guys, we're going right here. Information technology. All right. Now, down here, we're seeing some red concentrated over here. So that's going to be your software, your IT services. Those industries seem to have had a hard time. But as far as semiconductors, they were banging today. They were green. Green, green, green. And then we have the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals. This is where SanDisk is. And the majority of those were green today. You only had 2 out of the 9 that were red today. And then we said we're going to look at the sub industry. But the thing with this in particular industry, the sub industry is exactly the same. They're right here. So here's the sub industry. Wait a minute. Here's the sub industry. Here's the industry. They're both the same. Technology, hardware, and storage. Technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals, and they both inside the information technology sector. So we got it. Now let's go back to the Analyze tab. Before we go to SanDisk website, guys, company profile, SanDisk Corporation. Here's a link to their website. Also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company and rush through this website. SanDisk Corporation develops, manufactures, and sells data storage devices and solutions using NAND flash technology in the United States, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia, and internationally. Got it. Put me back on the screen. Take that down. We have that up. Now we're going to go to their website. That should be it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. All right. Now we didn't went over. I just said storage, guys. That's what they do. Drives, storage, SSDs. Okay. Look at the pictures. SSDs, flash drives, SSDs, PCIe, memory. That's what they do. All right, now we at the bottom of the page. Take me off the screen. We're going to go to About Us. We're going to go to Careers, and then we're going to go to Investors. Let's start with About Us. I should know this thing by heart. So let's go down. About Us. At SanDisk, we keep people and businesses moving forward with inspiring innovations to actualize their potential. Who we are. Our vast portfolio of flash products enables a seamless and simplified world of resilient data expression and storage. Our principles: innovation, sustainability, collaboration, and community. Responsible leadership. Innovation, propel progress. We believe the best way to predict the future is to build it. Man, that's gangster. All right. New era of NAND, the AI data cycle. Sustainability, invest in tomorrow. Powering people starts with protecting the planet. Gotcha. I got your comment. I'll pull up in 1 second. I got you. Collaboration and community, build better together. And thank you so much for tuning in and chatting. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Responsible leadership, guide the way. Executive leaders. So we got those. Board of directors. Got it. Corporate governance. Okay, before we go to the next section, let's pull up the chat. So here we go. Take that down. Go ahead and click this. Click it again. And we go chat. Bam. Here we go. Chat. Michael Anthony. ASX report before the open. That is the one to look at. Definitely. Thank you for that comment. I'm going to check it out as soon as we finish the stream. As soon as we finish the stream, I'm going to check that out. Thank you for sharing that with the community. Appreciate you. All right. Now let's go to the next section. Let's go here. Put that back. Gainer. Yeah. All right. So now we're going to careers. You couldn't see it. Couldn't see it. Right here, guys. Careers. Join Team Sandisk. Inspire and innovate one pixel at a time. Got it. Meet Sandisk. Students and grads. Benefits. So we're going to go here. Let's finish scrolling. Our teams. These are the different departments, guys. Finance, strategy, technology, engineering, global operations, people experience, legal and compliance, sales and marketing. How we hire. I love when companies break down how they hire to prepare the candidate to give them the best chances of securing employment and getting the position they're applying for. Okay, I love when companies do that. Gotcha. I'm gonna pull up your next comment. Thank you so much. A matter of fact, we at the bottom. I can pull your comment up now. So let's go ahead. Let's take this down. Bam. Click, double click that one. Pull up the chat. All right. So what we got now? What we got? Michael Anthony says UMC also report before the open that both of those are in semi. Okay, so both of those are in the semiconductors industry in the information technology sector. Got you. So you said UMC and ASX. Got you. Thank you for sharing that with the community, Michael. We can check those out. All right. So let's keep the show rolling. People tuning in tonight, man. I appreciate y'all. All right, so now let's take this down. Go to take me off the screen. So we're going to investors. Look at here, blow that up. Make sure we zoomed in. Here we go. All right, Sandisk to report. We talked about that. All right, so our mission, inspiration and innovation in motion. Sandisk delivers innovative flash solutions and advanced memory technologies that meet people and businesses at the intersection of their aspirations and the moment, enabling them to keep moving and pushing possibility forward. Here's some stats about the company, news releases, latest presentations, events, quick links. So we're going to use this link right here, guys, to go to stock information. So here's the stock quote about the company. I was about to say the company. The company, put me back on the screen. About the company, the chart takes a little time to load up. And here are some other tools that are available for investors on their website. Thank you so much. There is the chart that they have available. Okay, so let me share with you what I got in my research about Sandisk. So we got that. Cool. So here we go. When it comes to Sandisk's goods and services, so Sandisk Corporation, ticker SNDK, they manage flash memory solutions across the consumer, enterprise, and industrial markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete removable storage options, including SD cards and USB drives for retail consumers. Number two, scalable scalable solid state storage products, including internal SSDs, portable SSDs, and flash modules for device manufacturers. And number three, optimized embedded flash systems tailored for mobile devices, automotive systems, and connected technology. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, and Dell Technologies Incorporated, ticker DELL. All right. Oh, I forgot to put this back on the screen. There we go. So yeah, now let's look at the charts. All right, let's look at the charts. So let's go there. Bam, bam. We already had that there. And pull up the charts. Sandisk, yep, charts. We on the right time frame. Yeah. All right, so here it is, guys. This will be our 7th time covering Sandisk this month. This is the 2nd time they've been the biggest gainer. On July 21st, they gained 14.27%. And on the other 5 times we covered them, they were averaging, I think, like 12.5% loss those other 5 times that we covered them as the biggest loser. Okay. And we got another comment. Michael. Got Michael again. So let me pull this chat up and then we'll go over the technicals. I know we got a lot of stuff on there, but let's go. Let's pull up his chat. All right, here we go. All right, Michael Anthony. HI, ticker HIMX. All three are from the country, which gets talked about. Okay, help me out with that one. All of those are from the country, which gets talked about a lot, like it's a specific company or a region those businesses are in. Help me out. And while you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and keep going with the technicals so we can get the Sandisk knocked out. Appreciate the chat and you sharing this with the community, man. Appreciate you. All right, so take that down, go to game. Okay, all right, so Sandisk, and we are looking at a 1 year daily chart for Sandisk. Once it act right, give me a second. We're looking at a 1 year daily chart. That's the time frame we're looking at. They have a 52-week low of $40.10. Here's their 52-week high of $2,354.39. Let's go up to the higher time frame. And guys, we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart, but Sandisk separated or broke off from Western Digital. I was saying Seagate, but it's actually Western Digital. And now they have their own ticker and you can invest directly in them. So they handle different types of memory. Here is their two-year low of $27.89. And here is their 2-year high of $2,354.39. And we have another comment, Taiwan. Got you. All right, I'm about to pull that comment up. So Michael Anthony, let me pull you up. Take that down, chat. Take this down, put me back on the screen. Boy, there's a lot of, I can't wait till I get my production team, Michael. So Michael Anthony, Taiwan, appreciate you. So we can bring it back. Let's remix it. Let's bring it back. So ticker HIMX, all three are from Taiwan, which get talked about the most. Got you. And the other three were the other two, ticker UMC and ASX. Got you. Thank you for sharing that with the community, Michael. Appreciate you. All right, so we take that down. We'll go back here, take that. I'm sorry, I didn't take that. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the 1 year daily chart and let's start our technicals. Guys, I don't really think we got much to do because we've been marking up, like I told you, 7 times this month. So we have, we got technicals for days. We don't really have to put nothing else on here. We got levels for days and days and days. So let me try to position this where we can see what's actually going on. Spread it out so you can see these levels. When you get into the thousands, it's crazy, okay? Because you got a whole bunch of different gaps here. You got this is there, and it's not as, like it's gonna be less of a chance it's gonna hit right there, like because you're in the hundreds, like it could lose $100 in a day. These ranges, once they get into the thousands, are wide. Now it doesn't mean that the technicals aren't going to help at all, but I'm saying that's why we have so many of them. Okay, that's why we got so many of them, and we've been covering them often. So we can see that Wednesday it came down and tested the level that we had down here. So we had that level. We was talking about the extended hours because they had actually came down and broke. Sandisk actually broke $1,000 in the extended hours because it had did it while we were doing the live stream. So it had actually been tested down there and it did a nice recovery today. It cleared the whole body of the Wednesday's candle. Not only did it open above that candle, it came back down and closed that gap, but it was able to get above this previous gap. And we even identified a gap over here to the left. I'm gonna drag that over so you can see it. So there was a gap here on the way up to it making that crazy high over the $2,000 price point. So you can't see it because I'm on the screen. This is what I'm talking about, this gap right here, guys. So this was May 1st. There was a gap between May 1st and May 4th. So it just came down and filled that gap recently. It filled both of these gaps. So what we can do, we can change the color of them to the lighter because we know they've been filled, but now we know that that was a previous gap that's been filled. okay? And then it's darker gray. Those are support and resistance zones that were not gaps. And I don't know how well you can see that, but it's just slightly lighter, okay? So our 9-day simple moving average is at $1,366.30. I can't wait to make those labels. And the price action stalled out right in that resistance zone we had on the chart between $1,286.13 and $1,275.11. Okay, so I'm seeing resistance here at 1379.42 and wait a minute, that's a little tacky. 1379.42 and 1366.30. It's faster to just say 1300. Okay, let's break this down a little bit. And those are my other areas of resistance as it moves up, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Sandisk, and then we can talk about the volume. Put me back on the screen. All right, so Sandisk opened today at $1,135.01. They had a high of $1,285.48. They had a low of $1,124, and they closed today at $1,279.96, which was a trading range of $161.48, which is what I was talking about. The range when prices get over $1,000 could be as wide as $100 here, $50 here, $75 here. So that's where all those levels are coming from, guys. Okay, so the trading volume today was 24 million shares of this company was traded today, just about rounding it off. All right, is that a big deal? Is it a little deal? We about to find out right now. So let's cut off the floating data box. All right, and let's take me off the screen. And right over here, guys, the average, put this back. The average trading volume for Sandisk in a daily trading session is 13 million shares. They have earnings coming up on August 5th, and they're going to be announced after market, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. And today's volume was 24.3 million shares. So that's definitely above average. It's almost double what they normally do. And they've been holding consistent at this volume for the last 2 days. So yesterday, this red candle right here was 24.4 million shares traded that day. And today was 24.3 million shares on this green candle right here. All right. Now we're going to finish the volume up, but I want to spend a little time on something. So bear with me. So today's volume percentile. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 95.2% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 12 of those days had higher volume than today. So here's the kicker. Amazon had earnings today. I don't know much about what happened with Microsoft, but I do know this from Amazon. One of Amazon's most profitable businesses is the AWS, the Amazon Web Services, that cloud business. And then I had told you the companies that use that service from Amazon. I'm looking up here. Let me see if I can find, if I'm not mistaken, it was Meta. It was Meta. I can find it. I'm just gonna have to move back in my script, guys. Give me 1 second. But I know Meta was one of them. Where's the button for the prompter? Backwards. All right, here we go. I'm going to look. I want to go back and find it so I can give you the actual list. This is going to be a minute to go back because this was towards the beginning of the show. But my point is, guys, most people know Amazon for the online store. That's why they're in the consumer discretionary sector. But actually, the most profitable business that they have is the Amazon Web Services, the cloud services that they have. And their clients that they have is a long list of those companies, but these companies are also in the S&P 500 index. So the three companies I named earlier was Apple, ticker AAPL, Netflix, ticker NFLX, and Meta Platforms, ticker META. So the idea was a lot of these companies are spending money on AI, storage, information technology, all of that stuff, right? So a lot of the money was going towards the storage and the processors, the chips. But now that Amazon has done their earnings and they've looked at the revenue they've gained has been in the cloud industry. So now this has gave life to those companies that deal with the storage, if that makes sense. So now information technology is getting hype again because it's like, oh, they can make money off this because a lot of money is being invested in growing that department, AI and cloud and data and all of that stuff, right? So if Amazon was able to be profitable from all the money they've been spending investing into that business, then it makes sense. So now investors are excited. So because of that, I told you all of that to show you this. There are companies inside the information technology sector right now that are moving after hours because they're responding to the results of Amazon. So we're going to go over to we're going over to a 5-day minute chart. That's where we're at right now. And we're in extended hours. So remember, Sandisk closed at $1,279.96. Right now it's trading between $1,347 and $1,349. We can see that over here as well in extended hours. And they reached a high in extended hours of $1,428.12. Okay. But it's not just Sandisk. So what's another one? Let's do this. Let me show you something before we wrap the show up. I think we did all the volume. I want to show you something. So if we go back to Market Watch, we exit this. We're in information technology. We're going to focus on the storage. So here we are with the storage, right? So we got SMCI. So if we go over to SMCI, we're going to move them to the charts. Go here, go here, go here. Take the sponsor thing so you can down so you can see it. Send it to the charts. So we're going to send Sandisk to the charts, go back to the charts, and you can see that it went up as well. So they're moving up after hours. So it's companies inside of the information technology sector in storage that are moving up after hours on the Amazon news. I didn't send that over here. So we go here, STX. Let's see what STX is doing. All right, go to charts. See? They didn't move up as much as Sandisk did. But they closed at 851 and they almost reached 890 after hours. Looking for the price level, guys. There we go. So 887, so about $30 more. And they already went up 11%, 11.41% today. And then they moving up even more after hours. So yeah, guys, that's what's going on. So we done, guys. We got through the show. I did a little extra. So there we go. Take that down, go to like. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The chats help out tremendously. When you guys tune in and just watch for 5 minutes, it helps out tremendously. That like button, it goes a long way. I know a lot of people on YouTube ask for it, but I appreciate you when you do it, and it helps grow the channel. It helps YouTube know, hey, they like this and promote it. So I appreciate it. All right. Now let me go back to where I need to go in my closing. Here we go. Here we go. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, August 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following the market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.